This is Team's Something Fun flipped classroom presentation about layouts in operations management. So first, what is a layout? By Cambridge Dictionary, a layout is a way something is arranged. Why are layouts used then? Layouts are used in operations management to optimize various aspects of a facility's operations depending on the specific goals and requirements of the organization. Why are there different kinds of layouts? Each layout serves distinct purposes and offers advantages in different situations, making them valuable tools for efficient and effective management. The ones my colleague will be presenting are fixed, functional, cellular, and product-based layouts. Why is it important to choose the right layout for you then? Familiarity with different types of layouts in operations management is essential because it empowers organizations to make informed decisions that align with their specific operational goals and adapt to changing conditions. It allows for the optimization of processes, resources, and costs while ensuring product quality, safety, and competitiveness. And with that, we can continue off with Victoria, who will tell you about the fixed position layout.
One of the types of manufacturing layout is a fixed position layout, which is a type of manufacturing facility used in the service or manufacturing industry, where the equipment, transforming resources, and materials labor are arranged in the way that they are brought to the major components, which means that materials and people being transformed stay in the fixed position. Those layouts are usually used for complex projects, time-consuming projects that are highly customized. So all of them are different, and the location of the resources usually is based on the convenience of the transforming resources. Besides, the layout is commonly used in industries and projects where the size of or complexity of the products and projects make it impractical or impossible to move them, which means that the project or the product is either too big or too delicate or inconvenient to move. And here you can also see the picture that represents the main idea behind fixed position layout. Here is the table with the main advantages and disadvantages of these layouts. The main benefits are that projects are very flexible. The products or customers are not moved or disturbed. There is high variety of tasks for staff. Continuity of operations is ensured by highly trained and skilled staff, which is required for this kind of layout, and independent product centers. One of the main drawbacks of this layout are high unit costs. It's important to schedule everything so that there are no overlaps in the manufacturing facility and operations are efficient. It can be time consuming and requires skilled workers. Some of the examples of the fixed position layouts are motorway construction, or bridge construction, because the product itself is too large to move. Open heart surgeries, because the process is too delicate and the patients cannot be moved. That's why resources and people are arranged around the patients. And high-class service restaurants. So it is inconvenient for customers. They are not expected to move around. That's why they are served.
Thank you, Victoria. My name is Jenny. Nice to meet you all. And next up, we're going to speak about functional layouts. In a functional layout design, the materials, machinery, people, or other resources have been grouped together because of their similar functions or because they perform similar tasks. So I've added this functional layout design from the Donglu Library at Yan'an University. so that we can just see that in action. So on the right-hand side, you can see that there's a reception room and sort of like the office room. They're located near each other because of their functionality. This means that maybe the people that come to work, they usually are on this area, and they sort of serve like the back office side of the library. It is often the goal of the functional layout to maximize convenience. So for example, here, if you would come into the lecture hall, maybe you need to use the restroom when you're coming in or when you take a break from the lecture. And functional layouts are often used in operations that would require a high level of specializations or repetitive functions, and they're often used in manufacturing plants or service industries. So the advantage is that we have high mix and product flexibility, and especially the specialization aspect of the functional layout makes it a nice layout to use. So employees can really gain mastery over their particular tasks, and customers can find similar products near each other. So for example, in a manufacturing plant, this would mean that the employees are really focusing on their specific areas, and they can gain sort of like expertise in those areas. They might be able to do batch processing, so they can do the same task a lot of times to create sort of like volume in the operations. Customer point of view, you could think about maybe a supermarket where all the frozen products are going to be sort of on this frozen aisle. So it makes finding these products easier for the customer. Functional layouts can be a little bit resistant to change. Changes in design might be difficult, for example, because of the machinery. Maybe the settings are just set to batch produce a specific type of product, and changing this can be a little bit difficult. This might lead into lower facilities utilization compared to other layout types. If you think about the supermarket or library, maybe not all the people that go into these places want to flow through the operations in a similar manner. You've maybe experienced in a supermarket a lot of times that you go and get the milk, but then you forget about something, you walk back in the supermarket to get something else. And so flow through these operations might get a little bit complex and hard to plan in advance or control. All right, so finally, I'm going to show you the examples. So like I already spoke a little bit about the supermarkets, frozen products in one area, you would need a specific type of cooling systems for the frozen products or the products for meat, milk. Likewise, hospitals. So in hospitals, a lot of times it could be that the functionality of the rooms or machinery available have been put together. My final example is the library that we talked about a little bit before as well. So just to recap, so we have sort of like the similar kind of operations in similar or near each other. That's all from me. Enjoy the next part.
Cellular layout. Cellular layout actually combines features of fixed position layout and product layout. The main goal or the main principle of cellular layout is to bring order to the complexity that a functional layout can be sometimes. Cellular layout can be described as creating small groups of or cells of machines or processes that are dedicated to producing a family of products or services that have similar characteristics or requirements. In a store, for example, cellular layout means that different kinds of products are placed together because they share a common theme. In the picture, there is a ground floor of a department store, and I think this picture explains cellular layout pretty well. Because there are different kinds of areas marked with the blue color. There is an area for women's clothes, there's an area for books and videos, but then in the green area, it's named a little differently. It's just named sports. So there's actually different kinds of products that share the same theme, which is sports. So there can be clothes or there can be sports equipment, but they're together because they share the common theme. And that's cellular layout.
cellular layout is often referred to manufacturing. So on to benefits, advantages. Cellular layout makes it easier for customers to find the product when they are on the specific theme, and that way customer saves time. If we talk about advantages in manufacturing, this layout improves the quality and productivity of the production process by reducing the setup time, inventory, and defects. And then to disadvantages, cellular layout requires more planning and coordination to design and manage the cells, which can increase the complexity and overhead. And this applies to both manufacturing and service, in my opinion. And then on to few examples. So first we have the lunch product area in a store. So customers use the supermarket just to purchase salads, sandwiches, cool drinks, etc. for their lunch. And these kinds of products are often located close together so that customers who come to the store to buy lunch don't have to search around the whole store. Second, we have maternity unit in a hospital. Customers needing maternity attention are a well-defined group who can be treated together and who are unlikely to use the other facilities of the hospital at the same time as they use the maternity unit. And then the computer component manufacturer, the processing and assembly of some computer parts may need a special area dedicated to the manufacturing of those parts for a particular customer who has special requirements such as particularly high quality levels.
Okay, so I'll be talking about the product layout, also known as flow or assembly line layout, which is the type of facility layout commonly used in manufacturing and production process. This one involves arranging equipment and workstations and processes in a linear or sequential way, basically to optimize the efficiency and productivity. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the characteristics. Basically, it's a sequential arrangement, meaning that the equipment and workstations are organized in a linear sequence, with each step in the production process occurring basically one after the other. Then the specialization, it means that each workstation or in each step of the process, it's specialized for a particular singular task, ensuring that workers become highly skilled at the specific work that they are doing, and also that machines are effectively used. This layout has a continuous flow, means that products move through the production in an interrupted manner, and it's perfect for high volume. The product layouts are the best for high volume production because they minimize the setup and the changeover times, etc. It's also very standardized, meaning that the product and processes are have minimum variation and of course minimum errors. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages. Regarding the advantages and the benefits, it's very efficient. Product layouts are designed for efficiency because there is minimal movement of products and materials between workstations. It can reduce labor costs too. Specialization and repetition often leads to workers' proficiency, as I mentioned before. Workers become specialized, and it reduces the need for extensive training and basically reduce labor costs. Then it's a very predictable output due to the standardized process that I just mentioned before, because the output is predictable and consistent. You want to produce 1 million cars, that's going to happen. It's very predictable. Regarding disadvantages, it's not that flexible, of course, and it's less adaptable to changes because the product design or production volume make it unsuitable for customized or low unique production. And of course, you're going to need a lot of investment at the beginning to set up all the product layout line. It can be expensive and it requires specialized machinery and equipment and carefully designing the whole production line. Monotonous work, workers on a product layout assembly line, it's easily that they find out that their tasks are very repetitive, leading to burnout, basically. And then we have the risk of production bottlenecks. If, for example, one workstation encounters a problem or experiences downtime, it can create bottlenecks in the entire production process. I'm going to finish with some examples so you have a visual picture of what it is, a product based. So the product's in the center, as you can see, an automobile manufacturing assembly line. Product is everything here. So you can see many cars done in the same way. Each machine is doing specifically something. One is putting the door, the other one is putting airbags, etc. Food processing, high volume, as I mentioned before. Here we can see a milk assembly line. Each station does something. You can see some workers there putting some milk. Then there's a machine that makes the plastic bottles. And finally, electronics manufacturing. For example, assembly of TVs as the first example, or here smartphones. And here's where it comes the monotonous work. So one worker may be putting the same chip to the same phone 1,000 times every 3 hours, for example. So it's very monotonous. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend to work there. Yeah, that's it. I think that's a perfect picture, perfect time, and hope you did like this presentation. Thank you so much. We are Something Fun, and here are our resources.